you believe that anyone can learn to draw? Or that's just a magical ability that some possess and others don't? I hope to challenge you through this drawing series on YouTube to believe that anyone can learn to draw. Hi, I'm Danica. Nice to meet you. This is my studio, and I'm an artist and an art teacher. I'm beginning a series on teaching people how to learn to draw, and I'm using this book as an example. This is Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards. It was published in 1979, at least my copy was. And a lot of research since then has happened in regards to right and left brain studies. And it sounds like they didn't have all the information that we do now. But when I talk about left and right brain, what you can understand it as is a figure of speech to symbolize a way of thinking. And so in order to teach different ways of thinking, we can think of left brain as logical, right brain as creative. And so it's not an actual physical difference that we're talking about in the brain so much as a way of thinking. In order to learn to draw, you need both ways of thinking, the logical and the creative. But because the creative hasn't been valued in our culture, we need to focus on the right brain's way of thinking in seeing in order to grow that ability and to therefore learn how to draw in a way that is more accurate. So let's talk about left and right brain thinking. All right, so you probably know from pop culture different stereotypes of what right and left brain thinking is, right? We know that left brain is logical and right brain is creative. Now remember, these are ways of thinking. They're not actually physical differences in the sides of the brain. These are ways of thinking. The logical and the creative. We know, actually, structural wise in our brains, that the left side of our brains controls the right side of our body, and the right side of our brains controls the left side of our body. So most of us are right-handed, and that comes from the hand control from our left side of our brains. Most people feel more familiar, comfortable, and competent with the left brain skills that we talk about in pop culture. They're more logical, they're more straightforward thinking, and they're more linear. Most people perceive their right brains to be weaker in terms of their skills, and maybe possibly in terms of the things that they value. I need the left brain in order to do my job. The right brain is for leisure and weekends, right? Which isn't really so. We need our whole brains in order to operate fully well as human beings. The right brain is associated with spatial awareness. And so the left brain might recognize this is a door. The right brain is the thing that will enable you to walk through doors of different sizes without hitting the sides. The left brain is acquainted with words. The right brain is acquainted with shapes and images. The left brain operates in terms of efficiency. So what is the least amount of brain power that I need to solve this problem? Often it helps to reduce something complex into something smaller in order to efficiently process it in the brain. In terms of efficiency, the left brain favors symbols. So, for example, this is a symbol of a hand, right? A thumb and 4 fingers. The right brain doesn't value efficiency like this. It just values process. In terms of taking your time and observing things, observation. So while this might be the picture of a hand, a symbol of a hand, your right brain can learn to draw hands many different ways. For example, this is a pointing hand. Our society tends to value the left brain skills in our STEM-focused society. But research into the arts education is starting to focus on STEAM, which includes that A in there, that's the arts. Because the right brain has a lot to contribute into a full human life, as well as a fully productive human society. Now, if you notice, most kids are very creative. They're not sensitive to, oh, this doesn't look right, or I can't draw that, and so they don't even try. They develop that through a sense of social awareness as they get older, more towards age 12. Most of us have stopped learning to draw by age 12, and most adults still draw like they were 12. And so the way to improve in your drawing is to tap into that right brain, to draw what you see, not just draw what you know. So this is drawing what we know. We know that a person has 2 arms, a person has 2 hands with 5 fingers each, a person has 2 eyes, and we always draw the front way, don't we? When we're drawing from our heads, that's what we know. But when we tap into our right brain, we can begin to learn to draw what we see, not just what we know. And so the way to progress in our drawing is to present drawing activities and tasks that the left brain refuses to participate in. When we present something that's not logical, that does not allow for symbol systems, we can switch into the right brain way of thinking in order to turn on our ability to see and our ability to perceive better and thus translate better onto the paper. So throughout this YouTube series, you'll be able to see a process, a series of tasks that will enable you to draw what you see more than what you know. It might be kind of strange, like drawing upside down or drawing with your eyes closed. But this helps you tap into the right brain way of thinking, away from the logical, and helps you perceive your world so much better. And therefore, once you perceive your world better, you can translate it better onto the piece of paper. I do believe that anyone can learn how to draw if they put their mind to it, their whole mind, not just their right or their left. I've invited my husband to be my guinea pig student along with us in this journey. And I'm very excited because he will enable you as the viewer to watch and to learn through him and his own process as he learns to draw more realistically. And so I encourage you to like and subscribe and wait anxiously for new videos and new drawing challenges as we learn this process together.